Okay, so you guys, I want to talk to some Dallas girls right now, specifically some Dallas black girls. I've been in Dallas, Texas ever since 1999, ever since I was 7 and a half, and I've grown up in Dallas, Texas ever since. In 99, me and my mother left Atlanta, Georgia to come to Dallas because my great grandmother was sick. We stayed in Oak Cliff with my grandma for a year. My grandmother and my uncle stayed over there on Sunnyvale, East Keys Boulevard, Cedar Glen South, notorious apartments, Bonneview Road, So we stayed there for a year. Then we left when we moved to DeSoto, and I stayed there for 2 years. Then we moved to the Grove, and I stayed there for 4 years. And that's where I was really introduced to this like ghetto black girl school like thing where girls tease you. Even some of the Hispanic girls, they tease me because I was a little sweet church girl. I didn't curse. They was like, why she don't curse? They would pick on me. That's my first time actually like seeing a real fight in school. It was just a, what do you call that? It was a culture shock. I wasn't used to seeing so much drama. When I first came to Dallas, I went to JP Starks my first year in Oak Cliff, and then I switched over to Faith Family. I think I should have stayed at Faith Family because I had some friends there. It was a decent little school. Then I moved to the Grove, and boy, ghetto. Stayed out there for 4 years. Then we moved to Duncanville, and I grew up in Duncanville ever since I was 13, age about 24, 26, till we moved away and went to college together. Then we experienced homelessness and things after that. So I'm just giving y'all some background, let you know I am from the D. I am from Dallas, like 214. Don't get it twisted, okay? My grandma and them stayed in Oak Cliff. I was always over there with them. We stayed in the Grove. I grew up in the Duncanville area, okay? So don't ever get it twisted. I'm definitely from Dallas. I'm in the suburbs now. Although Duncanville is pretty straight. Like the hood's on one side, and then you got the suburbs on the. It's a nice little middle class. I grew up pretty middle class. Anytime we was in the hood and it got too bad, we left. Like in Pleasant Grove, they started finding bodies. They were shooting at cops, and that's when we left. After I did elementary, 3rd grade through 6th grade. Graduated from Edison Teich on St. Augustine Road. We stayed in St. Augustine Apartments. You already know. And then, be quiet, Bella, we end up leaving. But I just want to give y'all a little backstory. Now, growing up in Dallas, I noticed as a teenager that black girls from Oak Cliff, not all of them, but a lot of them are very, very mean. Ghetto. I feel like there's a jealous spirit hovering over Dallas for the girls and the guys, which is why when guys are about to go play pro, or if they come back to celebrate, they get shot. They get unalive. Don't let them be kind of handsome. I feel like if you're not a mean-spirited ghetto black girl, they pick on you, they talk about you, which is leading me up to this experience that I had today, okay, at the VA clinic in Dallas, Texas. I like to go to that clinic because the one where I stay doesn't have everything. The one in Plano doesn't have everything, so I go to the big one because they offer more services, and they don't offer the services I need out here, so I go to that one. Needless to say, it's in Dallas, it's in the Oak Cliff area, and one moment. Be quiet. So, where shall I start? Let me just pick up from the part that really peed me off, and then I'll take it back to the beginning. So the part that really peed me off was after I experienced this whole situation. I'm going to backtrack for you guys. They told me you need to go to labs. This is where it gets quite interesting, quite untasteful, and quite ghetto and very tacky for me. So they told me I need to go to labs. I go all the way across the building over to labs. I'm walking into the lab facility. It's like 6 black girls in a row sitting behind the decks and one Mexican chick way at the end over here. I walk in and they was looking at me like they knew me. Like I was their brother's baby mama drama situation that they didn't like. I mean, they was looking at each other crazy, looking at me. I walked in, and let me tell you something. I had on my basic Holly Berry wig. We wasn't even as glamorous. It's impossible for me not to be beautiful, but I wasn't even as glamorous as I am right now. I still was cute, though. I had my shirt on. I still looked nice. Had on my little cute Holly Berry wig. I was good because I didn't feel like doing my hair. I have to curl my hair and do all that. But I was still looking cute. But it doesn't matter. When I walked in, y'all, I didn't get a hello, how you doing? How can we help you? Not one person. This is what I got. They was looking at me like they had beef with me, and they don't even know me. I've never seen these girls a day in my life. 6 black girls, and that's important because I'm a black girl. They were all black girls and one Mexican chick. They all looking all funny, looking all crazy. They was looking at me like they was hating on me, and they don't even know me, y'all. Like they knew I was coming. They did not like me. Like they wanted to fight me, or like, why you here? Like, what you here for? Why you? They was looking like, Didn't nobody say hello. How I walked up, and I was nervous. And I'm gonna backtrack, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. But I'm gonna get back to that. I was nervous because when I first came in, I dealt with another female, and she was, to me, I don't know if she really checked me in. Sometimes I feel like females be doing extra stuff with me. They'll act like they helping you, but they really not, to be funny. You know, they just be just being mean-spirited or whatever. So I was like, okay, I just went through it with this young lady who tried to play me. Now I'm coming over here and it's that same toxic female energy. And I feel like Black, white, Hispanic, Asian females are pretty toxic anyway, especially when they're mean-spirited. But when you mix that with hood or racism, it's a whole nother level of toxicity. In this case, it's ghetto-ness. It's not even hood, it's ghetto, it's jealousy, it's that Dallas mentality. So, and needless to say, I was up there for maybe about a minute and a half before one of the ladies tried to, you know, play it off and get out of their little looking at each other and looking at me up and down like what I'm doing there and said, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? So she gave me like a fake, hey, how you doing? To play it off. So I gave her back, hi, I'm here to get my labs done, to play it off too, because I was really like, why y'all looking at me crazy? It made me feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't even know y'all. It should have been, hello, how can we help you? But it was like, nobody wanted to help me. So she gave me that and she walked me over to the little booth so I can check in and get my number. Meanwhile, while she's walking me over, she's looking through the glass doors, looking at my face, like trying to see how I'm going to act. And I'm just watching their response to me. I never met them before. I love to watch how people interact with me, especially females, because I know I vlog, I know I talk about it, and I know my life story. And growing up in Dallas, girls have always treated me a certain type of way, mean-spirited, ugly. I'm not the prettiest cookie in the box, but I am kind of cute. And back then, I used to have my little baby hairs. Back then, I feel like I was even cuter. They were just mean. Sometimes they would be hating, and sometimes I was just misunderstood. And I would be like, hey, how y'all doing? They would look at me and just bust out laughing, or look at me up and down and going about they just very, very mean, chew their gums, smack and curse and go on and ignore me, or just look at me and laugh. Just very toxic, just toxic energy from Black girls in Dallas growing up. So that's the same thing I got. So as she was giving me the number, she was looking through the window to like look at my expression. Like they was really like sizing me up like they knew me. Like I said, like maybe I'm their boyfriend's baby mama drama situation. I'm like, I don't know y'all. What is this toxic negative energy coming from these Black girls from? And I feel like that's an Oak Cliff thing, not with all Black women from Dallas, not all generation, what am I, millennial, Generation Z, but a lot. I feel like if they wasn't raised right, they have that mentality, this jealous type, nasty spirited, mean spirited, toxic female energy toward young ladies. Because I be like, some of them be pretty, but they be mean-spirited. So again, I don't know if it's because I don't know what they sense because they don't know me. And I just walk up and they already giving me toxic energy. Like they be just unprofessional. They don't greet you. They just looking at you like, why you here? I can't explain that. So maybe it's definitely a spiritual thing. But anyway, here's the next part. She gives me the number. She says, okay, go to so-and-so. So she's going to put in your information. I go to this woman. And y'all, when I tell y'all, that lady had me standing there. All she had to do was put something in there and have me sit down. That's what I feel like. Because they did that with other people that came in there. She had me standing there for a good 5 or 6 minutes. Then I caught on to what was happening. Because as I was standing there in front of her, waiting for her to give me like the next part, like have my information or whatever for me to wait for them to do my labs. They took my blood work. They was all like looking at each other funny, saying stuff. One girl bust out. She was like, she was laughing. And I'm just doing like, I just had my hand over my mouth because I know me. And I'm like, I don't want to say nothing wrong, but I was so uncomfortable just because of how they was looking at me. That toxic high school energy, messy, I'm going to beat you up. I don't like you. What you doing here? And my whole thing was just all Black girls. This Black on Black hateration thing going on. And one Mexican chick. The Mexican chick was looking at me crazy too. But the crazy part about that, the out of line part about that is that, baby, I bet you on my life a Mexican chick ain't going to look at another Mexican chick like that. Baby, when they walk in the room, they greet each other in Spanish. Hi, mommy, what can I do for you? They start talking in Spanish to each other. They going to help. Baby, they will not go against their own. But you got these foolish Black girls, and she looking at them and looking at me crazy because y'all be letting these other races see us treating each other crazy. But baby, I guarantee you the Mexican chicks don't do that to each other. Mexicans stick together, but us Black people, us Black girls, not me, but them, it's ugly. So she was looking at them and looking at me, but I was like, baby, if I was Mexican, she would have never let them look at me like that. Baby, they're going to greet each other. So that was just tacky to me. But the part I had a problem with it, just toxic energy. But for these black girls to be so mean-spirited and so unprofessional at a veterans clinic, people that have served the country, people that have signed up. Yes, I got separated unwillfully. I feel like that was talk. Y'all already know the story. If y'all follow me, y'all know it was a female that separated me. You know how I feel about that, and of another nationality at that. But it was the ma'am that was black that actually signed it off. So whatever. Y'all know how I feel about certain females. I already feel a certain way, which is why I requested a male doctor. We're going to get through that later. But there was just this, so the one girl bust out laughing, right? Nothing's funny. They didn't crack no joke. She just looked at me and just, and they looking at each other and whispering. Then there was a gay guy that entered the room. He was dark skinned. He had locks. And he was like, "Ooh, y'all, I got 29 veterans." And he was kind of like looking at me like this too. Meanwhile, y'all, I'm just waiting on this lady, still has me standing in front of her. So, and I realized what she's doing is taking her time, prolonging what she needed to do just so they can kind of like size you up and be laughing and talking about you. So when I caught on to that, I said, "Okay, ma'am, I see it's going to take you a while. I'm going to sit down. Can you just call me when you're done?" She was like, "Okay, whatever." And I sat down. And as I sat down, I looked at them because they was all giving me looks. The girl was laughing. They were saying the gay guy was looking at me crazy. The girls was just being it was very toxic, very negative. And I'm like, you shouldn't have applied for this job if this is how you're going to treat veterans. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. I don't know you. What's the problem, kid? You have not had just said, "Hey, how you doing? How can we help you?" and treat me like everybody else. Why is it that because you see a young female that's kind of cute, you got to be doing whatever you're doing? I don't know if it's hating. I don't know if it's just messy. You just ghetto. You just unprofessional. But why are you giving me this Taquisha attitude? Why are you giving me this toxic high school black girl bullyish energy? Why are they giving me this? Like, this isn't a gang. This isn't even a regular facility. It's a VA clinic. I am a veteran. Whether you respect it or not, at least just be professional. Is that too hard to ask? So I sit down and I wait 2 minutes. I see somebody else come in, and of course they checked her in real quick. She sat down. So I went back up. I said, "Ma'am, I'm just trying to see if you're done. Is it still processing?" And she said something. I was okay. Let me go sit down. And then like a minute later, she was like, "She's done." She finally gave it to me. So she gave me the tab. She said, "I was just trying to make sure you get all your shots at one time." But I don't think it was true. I think she was prolonging it so they can keep, like I said, being toxic, looking at me up and down. And she thought it was entertaining to have me standing there longer so they can do what they do. And then the sad part about it was at least 2 or 3 of them was like my mama's age, 58, 60. And even they was looking at me like this. And I feel like y'all too old for that. And when I say old, I'm not throwing shade. You're too grown. You old enough to be my mama. I understand these girls my age in their 30s doing that and younger. But when you like 60 something, you still acting like a high school bully, ignorant, ghetto, jealous black female toward another younger black one, and you in your 60s and 50s, that's sad. And 3 of them was like my mama's age, 2 for sure. And even they was looking at me like, I'm talking about, they was giving me some looks, baby. Like you would have thought we was all in high school. The way that I'm like, y'all are too old for this. And for the ones that are my age, I'm 33. In your 30s, 35, 36, 40. 28, you're too old for that. Like, we're not in high school. I don't know you. I didn't sleep with your man. I didn't take your baby daddy. I'm abstinent. I don't even have sex. So there's no way for you to be hating on me or treating me like, I did something to you. I don't know you. Like, for why? Why are you here if you're going to treat veterans or certain females this way based off how they look or your pretensions or whatever you're thinking based off how they walk, talk, or whatever? Because I didn't come in there with an attitude, nothing. I just came in there. And when I seen how they was looking when I walked in, I was like, oh, Lord. I was nervous. I just froze. I stopped. And then finally, they was looking crazy. Nobody said anything. Nobody wanted to help. Finally, the lady tried to play it off, and that's why I said I need my labs. So anyway, y'all, she gives me my paper. And then right after she gives me the paper, after she said, "Oh, I got your labs," or whatever, she gives me my card back, my veteran card, right? I didn't even say thank you because I feel like she was a part of the problem. I feel like she was doing it on purpose to get their laugh and their commotion. So because of that, I didn't say thank you. I would have been like, "Thank you so much." But I realized like they were kind of all in cahoots. So I just took she was like, "Oh, wait, don't forget you." I just took my card. I didn't say nothing because I feel like she was a part of it. So anyway, she was like, "Okay, so-and-so is ready." So they went back there to the lady taking my lab. Now they got me going back here too. Whenever I see females, I get a little nervous because I don't know what I'm dealing with. I don't know if they toxic, if they mean-spirited, and they finna take my blood work. So I don't know if they finna try to stab me on purpose or try to jab me, because however or whatever they think of me. So I had to kind of feel her out. So I looked at her. she was looking all right. Like, I'm trying to feel out her energy because I know they be a kind of girls when they work together, they be all in cahoots. But I was looking at her picture. She had her picture on the computer. Her picture looked mean. Like, she looked like one of them mean Dallas girls. So I was like, oh, Lord. So I started talking to her. I said, okay, now, man, what shots you giving me today? Like, I'm trying to feel her out, right? So if she seemed mean like them and she kind of got an answer, I'm like, you know what? Let me come back another day because you're not finna butcher me. So anyway, she was decent about it or whatever. And she was like, well, you just have this. And I said, can you name them shots again? I'm trying to make sure. And then she took it or whatever, and it went decent. She didn't jab me or butcher me. I didn't feel no pain or nothing. So, and I'm not afraid of shots, but I didn't want nobody like trying to purposely do something because, again, off of some toxic female energy. But it went okay. Although afterwards she was like making faces with them, right? She started looking, but that's fine. I was just talking to her about like church, like what church. She was like, I don't have church. I do want my daughter to go to church. But she made her little faces or whatever, but she didn't jab me. So that was the main thing. And then, like I told you, I was a gay guy that came in there. And so when I got my card and I didn't say thank you, I was looking at them as I went to sit down because I saw they was acting funny. So I was looking at them. And he kind of stopped. Instead, he went back with his little locks. He kind of stopped and then he made a face at them. This is why I like real men. Because real men know how to level out that female-y type energy, that estrogen, like that too emotional, that extra messy, that extra jealous stuff. Real men come in a situation like, hey, what's going on? All right, ladies, let's do this. Okay, did y'all get hurt? Like they level the plane, they level the situation out. But when you get some of these messy gay men, and I don't believe in homosexuality whatsoever, but there are some that are nice, some are decent, but it's still a sin. And other ones are extremely messy, extremely ghetto, especially in Oak Cliff. And so this is what I saw from him. And I'm like, sir, can he go about his business? He over there making faces like he a female. I'm like, I know you want a coochie, but you don't have a coochie. I have a vagina. I'm a real woman. Okay, all the lady parts, real woman from birth. God made me that. What you're trying to be, you're messy as Hell, and you need to go on about your way. Like, you doing some extra stuff. And this is why I like real men. This is why I ask for a male doctor, because like I said, when they a straight man and they a real man, they not on that female stuff. They not on that gossiping on the phone stuff. They finna level it out. Hey, this is what you need to do. Hey, I don't have to worry about them. Oh, what you trying to get a breast reduction for? Oh, what you trying? Oh, okay. She said she need a. What you say you want? What you say your name was again? I don't have to worry about stuff like that when I don't even know you, and I'm coming to you to be my doctor to get my labs, and look how you acting. That's why I don't really tend to be around females like that. And it's not all of them, but I've just had too many negative experiences. And so I tend to stay to myself or choose to, like, I'd rather be around guys. Even growing up, I never really had friends like that. But like in junior high, even though I was a nerd, I would love to be around guys, especially like the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, meet my little geeky guy friends, because they just be laid back and chill. Whenever I met some cool guy friends, even when I worked at Six Flags or jobs, like, you could just be chill with guys. You don't have to worry about that female stuff. It's certain girls out there that are chill too like me, but it's hard to find. But I'm often like I said, they be picking, they be misunderstand. And then they be thinking you're not hood, so they think they can bully you. And I go with it for so long. If you say something to me, you gonna find out real quick. Like, I'm gonna put you in your place. But they didn't say nothing to me initially. They was talking amongst themselves, whispering and laughing. Now, I could have been like, oh, what's so funny? But I'm just listening. If you say something to me, though, be sarcastic, I'm going to say something. And then you're going to find out right then and there, because a lot of them just assume they can punk you or bully you because you're pretty, you're different, you're a little church girl. I don't know what they think, but they'll find out real quick that I'm from the 214 just like you. Yeah, I can get with it just like you. Because they be underestimating a lot. But I'm also trying to be classy. I'm trying to be safe because I am classy. And I don't want to give toxic energy for toxic energy. Like, I don't want to give evil for evil. I want to rise above that, as my mom used to tell me. What else was I going to say? Y'all, I'm making a point here. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting some of my point. Anyway, I did what I need to do. Took my lab. They took my little PP sample. And I heard somebody in the bathroom. I was like, oh, these Dallas girls, they different. They just mean. I feel like I can go to Chicago. I can go to Florida. I can go to the worst hood in America and meet more friends than I would ever in Dallas, Texas. Because these girls, especially from Oak Cliff, just mean. Some of these Dallas black girls are just mean-spirited, very toxic, very mean, ghetto-ish. This, I don't know, with this toxic energy, this look at you up and down, like who you think you is, and don't know me from yesterday, the day before, Adam's apple. You don't know me from anywhere, but you got so much animosity. You can't even be professional. You can't even say, hey, can I take your order? Hey, how can I help you? And you signed up for the job, and I'm just walking in. Okay, this is what I want to say. So the next person walked in, y'all. Now, remember, when I walked in, they was looking at each other crazy, looking at me like, what am I doing here? I was somebody that had beef with, don't know them from nowhere. The next people walked in, I think it was a white person or a black lady. They talking about oh, how you doing? What they say? No, good morning, good afternoon, how y'all doing? And then the girl said something, and she was like, oh, I like the fact that you smiling. And then she was like, I like the fact you got a smile on your face. And then I think she said something else, but I didn't really catch that other part. But I don't know if she was referring to me or not. I feel like if I would have caught her referring to me, I would have been like, when I walked in here, y'all wasn't even smiling and blah, 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 blah. And it probably would have got out of hand, because if I would have caught something like that, if I would have caught her really referring to me, I would have said something. Then I probably would have started arguing with all of them, because they was already on some messy, bullyish type toxic female stuff. But I didn't really catch the next part. I didn't really catch it. I heard something, but I didn't catch it. I didn't comprehend it. I just heard her say, oh, I like the way you smile. And my whole thing was, you saying you like the way that patient's smiling. And when I walked in, wasn't none of y'all smiling. Nobody even greeted me. Y'all was looking at me funny. So why would I be smiling back to y'all? And you didn't even give me their energy when I walked in. You looked at me like, why I'm here. You see what I'm saying? Make it make sense. I'm giving you the same energy. And even when I came in, when they did that, I wasn't looking at them like, I'm just like waiting like, oh Lord, here we go. And, I'm kind of nervous, because I'm like, oh, I got to deal with these females. But, not nervous in a scary way, just nervous in, I don't really like to deal with that type of toxic, jealous, mean-spirited female. I don't like to deal with that. And then I don't want to be fussing and all that. I can easily fuss. I can easily put them in a place. I can easily check them. They'll easily find out, okay, she's not timid like we thought, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to be yelling. I don't want to have to be ratchet just to prove something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to get out of character just because of how they acting. So I didn't catch that, but I wanted to say, to that, and it wasn't one of those situations where I would have been like, can y'all smile? Can y'all be professional? Because I feel like if I would have said something like that, it would have they wouldn't have been able to receive it. They had like this whole toxic energy. They wouldn't have been able to receive it from me. What I did was I called in and I made a complaint. I said, hey, I went to the labs today. They were very unprofessional. They were looking at me. One young lady was even laughing. I said, one lady was taking like 6-7 minutes to do something that could have been done quick just to get like the other ladies' responses. And I said, all I want to do is be treated like everybody else. You don't have to do nothing extra. All that ghetto, mean spirited energy, is all that unprofessionalism is not called for. And he apologized, and I let him know. I feel like maybe if a supervisor, somebody talked to him, they could take it better. Because if I would have been like, hey, can y'all please be more professional? Like they wouldn't be trying to hear me. Like they wouldn't listen. So I went on about my day. After I did my little sample, I did hear a woman talking about that part, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, I don't know what it is about me, but when I come around, females want to like gang up, gang around, come around. Like when I came out the restroom, it was like 2 women like waiting on me. Like I feel like they want me. They want to try to bump into me. Like they be purposely trying to get in my space, like trying to fight you, trying to size you up, trying to bump arms, stuff like that. Especially these Oak Cliff girls, you know what I'm saying? They be trying to size you. But listen, I'm not young, and I'm still innocent, but I ain't as young and timid and innocent like I used to be, baby. I will fight all y'all at the same time. But the only difference why I don't want to is because I'm saved. I know I shouldn't. But the thing is, I'm not scared to. Unlike y'all, these chickens get together and be bullies together. But when they by themselves, they're very humble, or they're at least they don't have as much guts as they have when they come together and be doing all that. So anyway, when I went over and put my little pee sample down, I feel like 2 girls was right there trying to start something. They told me, that part, talking about me. Because I was in the bathroom like, dude, these Dallas girls are mean. They different. And so, but they went on about their business. They was like, she said, excuse me or whatever. I feel like they just be trying to test me all the time, trying to try me. And I don't know you for you to be trying to try me. You know what I'm saying? It'd be other girls in here. They may be attractive. They may look pretty. They're not trying them. But for some reason, when I walk in certain spaces, it don't even have to just be an Oak Cliff. With different women, they can be rich and bougie. They might be racist. Now, they might not be trying to fight me, but they may have a sense of toxicity. That's a female thing. But I think it's like I said, when they're racist, it's a different level, because then they just ignore you. They be talking about you, but they're not going to try to fight you. Like the white racists, the Hispanic racists, they just gonna be talking about you in a different language, or talking about you and ignoring you. That toxic stuff is still toxic, but you ain't gotta worry about them trying to be all in your space and trying to fight you. But when you're dealing with the black girl, they're gonna try to fight you, try to bump up against you, just be very ignorant. It's all ignorant. So I just say that to say, it's sad that as a black woman, I have to experience this from my other black woman in Dallas, Texas, a state that I've been in since I was 7.5. It's sad that black women have treated me like this for years, but that's life. And I think that what doesn't unalive you makes you stronger. I feel like because I've learned how to deal with the mean black girls here and the toxicity that some of these girls have, even just the mean girls, period. Mean rich girls, mean hood girls, mean racist girls, but especially when you deal with that mean ghetto black girls, it prepares you to take on anything. You can go and fight a war in Iraq when you learn how to deal with mean hood girls and overcome them and not be scared and still bounce back and stand your own. Because I've been by myself. I was the only child nobody ever took up for me. Been bullied in school. Would have been worse if I went to because I was going to go to Lincoln, but if I would have went to Kimball, Roosevelt, it would have been worse. But I went to Booker T and I went to Duncanville. And at Duncanville, I still ended up getting into a fight because of stuff like that. This girl was bullying me. But it would have been worse if I would have went to I'm assuming, maybe Lincoln wouldn't have went so bad. But if I would have went to Kimball, Roosevelt, I'm sure. Horrible. Because when I was in Pleasant Grove, I was like, baby, I'm not going to middle school out here because, baby, I'm sick of these girls messing with me. So I just feel like when you deal with mean girls, especially those mean ghetto girls, it prepares you, like I said, to deal with anything. You can be in the worst hood and come out on top and know how to survive because you done conquered the worst. Like, I feel like when I walked in that clinic, what was it, the lab clinic, I said, ooh, I'm telling you, the first thought that came in my head was I'm in the den of lions. And it threw me in the den of lions. These piranhas ready to attack. They was looking like all the black girls and one Hispanic girl looking at them, but they looking at me and she loving it. But baby, she wouldn't. Like I said, they don't do that to their people. So why do we do this to each other and not me? Why do black girls do this to one another? Why are y'all so mean? Especially you hood black girls from Oak Cliff. But I feel like it's worse in Dallas. I feel like there is a spirit of jealousy in Dallas. And it's like, it's a blessing to have a job because I was homeless. And when I got a job at Walmart, people looked down on it. But I said, hey, it's paying my bills. God bless me with this. But now I realize, I realize I've been knowing this. I want to be in a career around professional people that didn't just sign up for a 9-to-5 and get paid but don't want to be there, so they treat people like SH or treat people like crap because they just pick and choose who they want to treat fairly and who they don't. When you work a regular 9-to-5, when you work regular jobs, you have to deal with these. I feel like in professional environments, teachers, lawyers, doctors, courtrooms, it should be more professional. The hope is that once I get in my career as a teacher, I won't have to deal with so much toxicity from other professionals as teachers. But I hear that nurses are very mean too. I've seen so many videos because I used to want to be a nurse too, where they said nurses are very mean. They have their cliques. And I'm like, I'm trying to get away from this toxic energy. Then I see videos where they be careful with some of these teachers. But I feel like I keep to myself anyway. But I feel like there's certain things that I should not have to expect when I go into a professional career as a teacher, doctor, nurse, lawyer, where I would have to expect that some of these other regular 9-to-5 jobs with some of these girls that just got the jobs but don't care about how they treat people or don't really want to be there. I feel like we should have a certain level of decorum, professionalism. You actually care. You carry yourself with more class. You should, especially when you have a career. Like, you know why you're there. You want to be there and you want to treat people right. You want to carry yourself well, be classy, be decent, treat people how you want to be treated. Where in some of these 9-to-5 jobs, people just get hired, but they kind of still ghetto, or they treat certain people this way, treat other people. And it's like, I'm tired of that. I want the hope of being in a professional environment where it doesn't matter who you are or where you are. People at least have a mutual respect for one another, whether they agree about everything or not. I can respect you and move on. I don't have to be your friend. I don't have to go out for coffee with you. But in this arena, if you're coming to get a prescription filled, if I'm working with you in the hospital as a nurse or a doctor, as a teacher, and we have to come together for this objective, this lesson objective for these kids, guess what? It's going to be professional. I'm not going to worry about certain things, but I know in life, you're going to have to deal with toxic people, period. But I just want to talk to the Black sisters and say, when is enough enough? When are we going to stop the toxicity and the jealousy of each other? The jealousy, y'all, the jealousy, this toxic ghetto spirit it's not even just about being pretty, because it's girls that are way prettier. I'm just cute compared. But this whole, I don't know how to explain it because they don't know me. But whenever I walk in, they just unprofessional. I've experienced this, and even growing up in Dallas, the girls, especially in Oak Cliff, not all of y'all, some are just mean, ghetto, mean, ghetto, and toxic. And I'm saying this needs to stop. You should be able to, if you signed up for that job, you should be able to greet me regardless of what I look like, what I walk like, what I talk like. I don't care if you think I'm a little lame, you think I'm a little bitch, you should be able to say, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? That's it. You laughing, carrying on, talking about me. You can't stop how people act, but in a professional environment, at a VA clinic at that, with veterans that actually signed up to serve the country, you didn't sign up for none of that. At least just do your job and be professional. If you want to talk about somebody after work, that's fine. I don't know why they mad at me, though. Like, I don't know them. So, y'all, I just think that it has to stop. We have to do better. You don't see this in the white community. You know, girls are going to be mean, period. I get that. But you don't see as much... you don't see many white girls against white girls as much as you see black girls against black women, Mexican girls or Asian girls against each other. Like you see black women always fighting, quarreling, ready to take off somebody's wig, ready to punch somebody, ready to cuss somebody out, ready to call somebody out their name. Nobody doing that but us. And for why? Why can't we be professional? I just want to say it's sad. And if y'all see this video, y'all don't know me. You should have been able to simply say, hey, how you doing? At least one person. And sooner than that lady, sooner before y'all was like sizing me up and giving me dirty looks. It shouldn't have been none of the toxic energy, the laughing. You should just be able to be professional. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be there because you don't know what nobody's going through. And I'm not suicidal, but there are some veterans that are. And it could take some of y'all toxic chickens, or if some of y'all men, maybe some of y'all sweet men like he was, to send somebody over the edge because you want to be talking and putting somebody down and laughing. Now, me, I'm strong. I could care less. If anything, I'm just going to go off on you. But I'm trying to grow out of that because that ain't what God want me to do. Which is why I didn't do all that. Now, if they say something to me, they would have came like slick. I was going to pop back, but they didn't. So that was amongst themselves. But I want to say, y'all, we too old for this. It's time to be professional. It's time to be classy. You should be trying to grow. You should be trying to get a career. If you don't even want to be at the job that God bless you with, don't show up. If you want to go there to put veterans down, to put people down, you don't know what nobody's going through, if you want to sit there and laugh and talk about people you don't even know, don't come to work. That's disrespectful. You're at a veterans clinic. I'm a veteran. Don't consider myself a real veteran because I didn't even get to serve my whole term. I got separated against my will, of course. Do I take responsibility for my mouth? Yes, but there's a lot of soldiers with mouths. There's a lot of soldiers that fight everything. Guess what? They still in the army. Didn't no toxic, jealous females separate them. Because most of them was guys. And then the other girl that thought she was going to bully me, guess what? She's still there. So the little bull crap I went through and wrongfully got separated for, hey, I survived it. But you don't know what nobody's going through for you to sit there. Regardless if somebody going through or not, you shouldn't be treating people unprofessional. Black women, you shouldn't be talking about other black women. You shouldn't be unprofessional in these professional environments. I don't expect you to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. I don't expect you to be Claire Huxtable. I just expect you to at least be decent and professional when doing your job. When I'm standing before you, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? All the extra stuff for laughs, for looks, like you act like we in high school, like you gonna beat me up or bully me. These extra comments, baby, we're not in gangs. We're not outside on no cliff drinking beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, click gang banging. So what is this extra comments y'all be doing? Do your job and that's it. Leave the toxicity at home because Mexican girls don't do it to each other. No. Oh, they gonna stick up for each other. let one of y'all black girls say something about one of their sisters, their cousin. Baby, they'll bring all of Mexico to beat your tail. Oh, baby, they stick together. You mess with one, you mess with all of Mexico. But then they sit there and watch us tear each other down so they feel like they can do the same. And not just them, but everybody else. The Asians and some of the whites too. Not all of them. Because we're the only idiots that are always against each other. It has to stop, y'all. It made me feel so uncomfortable. Now back to the original experience, and I'm finna end this. When I went there, I checked in with this black woman at the window. And so I checked in early. I said about 7:50. My appointment was at 8:45. 7:30, nobody was still there. I said, okay, Lord, if I'm still waiting at 9:15, I'm going to go back up there just in case she lied and she really didn't check me in. So I went back up there like 5 minutes later, like 9:40, 43, 45. I said, hey, it's 9:45. Is it late? Is it something I need to know? And before I could even ask her that, this man was right there. She started talking to me first. Oh, did you talk to the lady? Did they get your results? And I feel like she was trying to cover up because I thought I heard her say, I don't care. So in my head, I'm assuming she probably didn't even check me in. Because when I first got there, nobody was at these windows, y'all. All the windows where you check in, nobody was there. So I'm looking and looking for a good like 10, 15 minutes. I'm looking at the two people sitting there. Y'all know where the check-in people, ain't nobody seeing nothing. I go over to the man, and just when I'm finna sign out, after about 5 to 10 minutes, she popped out, oh, here you go. So I'm already thinking, that's why I be thinking, oh, these females just being messy. I don't know. Did they know I'm coming? Because I had requested to have a male doctor instead of a female doctor. And I had came 2 weeks ago. And I went back there with some ladies, and they was kind of looking funny, but she finally helped me. And, they were kind of giving me some looks or whatever. One of them actually had to come over. Anyway, so I go up to the lady. She like, did you talk to anybody? Did they? I said, no, ma'am. She said, did they check you? I said, ma'am, did you check me in? Because she told me go over there and check with this window. I said, why would I go and check with them if you check me in? She said, no, I'm just seeing that. So I was kind of like, I don't know if she being honest or not. So anyway, I sat down. And then it was 8:45, maybe about 8:50, 8:55, I went back up again. I was like, I just want to make sure, are they late or something? Because usually I had asked one veteran, I said, well, you have your appointments, do they call you on time or they usually late? He said, they really pretty quick. I said, okay, I want to make sure she's not just doing this to me. Because again, it's that female. I don't really trust women like that. That's why I requested a male doctor. I don't want to be like, why you want to get a breast reduction? Why you want to, you think that, like females, they got a lot of extra stuff going on. So I don't really, unless they decent, I don't really trust them like that unless I get to know them and I see that I can trust them. So anyway, finally somebody comes out because I'm like, Lord, did she really even check me in? I'm trying to self-check myself in because they got an app. It wasn't working. I tried like 3 times. Finally, the lady called me back there, and then they do my weight. She asked me a few questions. She said, oh, they send you to a female doctor. I said, I knew they was going to do this. I requested a male doctor. They said they had it down. She said, it's okay. Just go in there, let her ask your questions, and then do your labs, and then let her know it's nothing personal, but you requested a male doctor. So, okay, she went over there. She told the lady was trying to ask me all these questions, blah, 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 blah. So, finally, I went through that. I got out of that situation. And I feel like the lady doctor was still trying to ask me like extra questions, even though I said I just please just answer me, do the basic questions and the labs, and I'll answer those deeper questions with the mail. I felt like she kept trying to push, but anyway, she was like, okay, you can do your labs now. So oh, thank God I can get out of here. And but I just want to kind of give y'all background for why I request a male doctor, because of like certain situations, like when I walked in the lab, they looking at me crazy, they laughing, they looking, the talking, the comments, the mean-spirited energy. And then for a man to be in there, thinking he a woman, giving you the same energy, looking at you up and down, and then stopping looking at them. This is why I don't believe in the rainbow code in homosexuality. A man needs to be a man, because a man has a power to level out a situation, to be like, listen, ladies, let's get it together, do what y'all need to do. That's it. Like a man got power that we don't have. A man is the head after Christ. He know how to get that thing together. Okay, now y'all got to do this. And he know how to come in, a real man, affirm his power, his manlyhood, or his leadership role, and take control. A real woman, because I had a first sergeant like that too, and the ma'am that was over. Matter of fact, I had an all-female command unit in AI. That was the first ones I never had a problem with. They was all professional. And I thank God for showing me that it could be done, because Deborah in the Bible was the only female judge. So I'm sure she was professional too, wasn't a hater. So I know it's out there, but it's very hard to find. Oftentimes I feel like female leaders or female are toxic, jealous, or it's always a competition, or they do stuff like they want to fire you. They want to do this just because they can. It's not really professional. But I seen in the Army with my first sergeant that was a Hispanic woman. She was real. She carried herself like a black woman. She was a beautiful Latina. I seen it with her, the black ma'am over her, and it was a white woman over there. All of them was great. All of them perfect. They were strict, they were stern, but they were still loving. It was a great balance. So I see that it can be done, but also often it's often toxic. So I don't trust it, unless I can see that I can. And sometimes, you just got to see. You don't know at times. That's how you get to know each other. But so for me, I prefer to be around men, because they tend to be more professional, they tend to be more level-headed, and they tend to be more, cross the dot, do the T. I'm not doing nothing extra. I'm not trying to be nosy. I don't have no ulterior motives. I'm not trying to gossip. I'm not trying to get your story so I can talk about you or post it or say, I'm just trying to do my job. Okay, what you need? Okay, you need it. That's it. And I wish more females could do that, or actually care, or actually try to build relationships, or just be professional instead of all this toxic, jealous, bullyish energy. It's not needed. So I just want to talk to the black girls from Dallas. Like, some of y'all are very mean, very petty, bullies, and for why? Some of them pretty. Some of y'all too old to be doing that. You're old enough to be my mama, and you still haven't grown up. You still a bully. So I know you was a bully in my mama generation. I know you probably tried to bully my mama. My mama went to Kimball for 3 days and they chased her out they told her to take her white self out of the school and they told her that they called her a white girl and told her they would cut her hair. Because she wasn't about that life. My mom was never hood. And some girls told her they wanted to fight her. And then my grandma had to pull up and be like, she not going to fight you, but I'll fight you. And then when she got to Lincoln, my mama said they tried to do that again to her, but somebody said, you tell me. No, she told them that what happened to her at Kimball. And she said, I'm here. I'm tired of running. I'm not going nowhere. And she said, somebody stood up and said, you tell me what Blake want to mess with you. I'll fight him. So my mama went through that back in the day. And you got some of these people from my mama generation, some of these women that still haven't grown up. And they still have this very negative bully mentality bully-like mentality towards certain young ladies, and you don't even know me. I can understand if I came in there talking crap and I'm gonna fight you, and I can understand. But if I'm just walking in the lab, I'm just walking in, just a patient, a veteran, just y'all see this? What this is? Who the Blake? What the? And then I'm just finally somebody greet me after a minute and a half of checking me out, and then somebody in the mix of that, she got me standing up here all this extra time. Then the girl out here laughing, and it's that mean spirit. I told y'all, if y'all follow me, it's that laugh. I know this laugh because I grew up in Dallas, where ain't nothing funny, but they looking at you and they laughing at you because you're different. Whatever the case may be, they don't understand, and they're being bullyish. They're being very petty. It's very toxic energy, and it's annoying. I don't want to be around that. But black women, black girls from Dallas, black women, it's time to grow up. It's time to do better. You older ones that are grandmamas, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You got grandkids, great grandkids, and you still acting like you in high school and you still playing the role of a bully. And you can't even say, hey, how you doing to a young lady that walks in the lab that's a veteran. You can't even do your job. You looking at me like this and that, like I'm messing with your son or with your boyfriend, and you 30, 40 years older than me. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And some of y'all women, that's my age. It's time to grow up, because toxic creates toxic. This is generational curses of y'all having these ugly mentalities, and this is why you can't get out. You really can't be great like that. You can't be an entrepreneur. You staying limited. You staying in these 9 to 5s because you're toxic. You just want to sit at a basic job, gossip, stay on whatever government assistance you can, and just work to do a little bit or something. But you can't be great because you can't expand your mind. You too busy laughing and judging certain people that don't maybe talk or look like you, or whoever you feel like you want to bully or whatever. That's toxic. That's dumb. It's ignorant. You're limiting yourself when you could be great if you learn how to mature. I'm not perfect, but I don't sit there just laughing and bullying and being mean-spirited to people. That's ridiculous. And I'm not weak. I'm not suicidal. Some people are, but I'm not. I've been picked on. I've been bullied by girls in Dallas or misunderstood. They've been always wanting to fight me, always trying to bump shoulders with you, trying to try you. But I'm grown now. I'm a big girl now. I can handle myself. But it needs to stop. You should at some point want to grow up. You should at some point get tired of the ignorance, of the belittling of other black women, instead of lifting one another up or just being professional, just doing your job. Like, if you know you don't like people like that, or maybe you very biased and don't like certain women for whatever reason, maybe they don't have on your favorite color, maybe you don't like their hair, then you shouldn't work there, because you shouldn't treat people differently. You shouldn't be at work bullying customers or bullying veterans or bullying the people, the public that's coming to you for assistance, and that's your job to fulfill that, to help them, to work with them, to be polite, to be decent, at least professional, not to be a bully. And that's what I see a lot going on from a lot of these women. And yes, y'all be working at some of these jobs. I don't care if it's Walmart. I don't care if it's Popeyes. What else? Some of you might be teachers. This bully, ignorant, toxic energy y'all give out to other black women, for whatever reason, it needs to stop. And they not on no negative. They don't come. I ain't coming there disrespect. You just mean. You just mean. You're just ghetto. You just want to fight somebody. Just not like you want to be talking crap. You just laughing for no reason. You shouldn't be there. That's not what you signed up for. That's not what we signed. I didn't come in here to have a bad experience with you judging, making fun, or trying to bully me, or throwing shots and laughing. You don't know what people are going through, so I don't think people like that should be working at veterans clinics, at people's schools, not even at Popeyes, McDonald's, or Walmart, because we're not coming for that negative energy. You don't know what people are going through, whether they are or not. People want to be treated right, like you want somebody to treat your mama, your daughter, or your baby daddy, or your boyfriend. Since you're probably not married, treat people right. Because half of these people doing this, they couldn't take it if it was the other way around. They work in birds of a feather, they work in flocks, they work in groups. But when they by themselves, it's a whole different story. They're very quiet, very humble then. Or they might do a little bit, but it's only turned up because it's all of them against one. That's a vulture, like a wolf pack mentality, a lion's den mentality, where you see somebody innocent, you see somebody decent, see somebody classy and pretty, and you just attack. That's not what they hired you for. So if you don't want to be there to treat everybody the same, you're going to treat your own black sisters like crap, or anybody else. They can be a white man, anybody. If you're going to treat people different for whatever your stupid reasons are, you don't need to be there. It's not professional. It's uncalled for. And it's sad to see black women putting other black women down. And I've seen this my whole life in Dallas. I feel like there's a spirit over this city called jealousy. There's a very jealous spirit over this city. And if you don't, growing up, I would say if you wasn't hood enough, if you didn't cuss enough, if you didn't carry yourself in a ghetto mic, they made fun of you. They laughed at you. They picked on you. You thought you was better. I saw a lot of that. But then even though I'm older now and I'm a little bit more and it's a little bit more in my voice, it still come like that. So it's a spiritual thing too. But that's one of the reasons why I'm leaving Dallas temporarily for a couple of years. And then I'm planning to come back, but I'm going to let God lead me. But I just want to say, black women, it's time to grow up. It's a shame that we are against each other. It's time to be professional. It's time to just be professional. Carry yourself classy. It's time to grow up. Let the toxicity go. And if you don't want to, this ain't the job for you. You can always go to prison if you want to beat people up. You know what I'm saying? You can always get on one of those nasty talk shows if you just want to fight, cuss females out, and talk about people. Or maybe sign up for one of those reality TV shows. Otherwise than that, time to grow up and at least from 9 to 5, can you at least be professional? That's not hard to ask. It's sad that I have to go into a facility and my own black sisters are putting me down. You only see this ignorance in the black community. Ain't no white girls doing that like that. Ain't no Mexican girls. Ain't no Asian girls putting each other. Nobody else is doing this to each other but us. It's ignorance. And like Lauryn Hill said, why black people got to be the one to settle? Why we got to be the ones being messy and talking about each other and letting everybody else see it so they can feel comfortable doing it and then call us out our names because look how we treat each other. It's got to stop. It's time to grow up. That's it. It's time to grow up. When you know better, you do better. We need mentors. These women out here need mentors. Some of these 60-year-olds that was looking at me like they was my age, that was looking at me like they was giving me some high school looks, some high school jealous looks, some who she thinks she is. Just a t-shirt and some jeans, my little cute little wig. It was no need for all of that. And the way they was looking, these petty looks and looking at each other and laughing, it's time to grow up. And you're 60 years old. At least 2 or 3 of them was like 58, 60, 55. The rest were my age. And it's time to grow up. It's time to be professional, or don't show up to work. Let somebody else have your job that's going to be professional and treat all veterans, treat all of the public the same, whether they at a VA clinic or at the Walmart or at Home Depot. Treat everybody the same. And if you can't do that, if you have to be a bully, if you have to make fun of people, don't show up there. Find another job that incorporates knocking people out, like a boxer or something. Like that can deal with your anger issues or your insecurity issues, to where you got to come and look down and make fun of somebody you don't even know that's coming there for assistance, let alone at a veterans clinic. Not to play the victim, it's just, it's annoying, it's disrespectful, it's sad, and we got to grow up. It's time to grow up. We got to do better. And we need mentors. Most of all, we need Jesus. When you find Jesus, he helps to, everything that's not right, even in me, he helps to get those kinks. He helps to get that stuff out. Some stuff ain't worth fussing with people on. They got their own, things going on, their own insecurities, and for whatever reason, they like to be mean. They like to be bullies. At a certain point, you have to say something, and at another point, it's not even worth saying something. That's just some God. He said, vengeance is mine. So y'all just pray for me, because it gets hard out here dealing with females. Sometimes they can be very mean, very messy, and it's hard not to get into an argument with them or not to have to do this and do that. That's why I had to, fight in the army and all that. It's hard. Females try to punk you. So y'all saints, pray for me, because I want to be who God wants me to be. I actually want to be a first lady, The anointing is there, but I'm trying to work on myself. I've always had to fend for myself as an only child. Nobody was there to take up for me in college and high school when people, picked on me. I had to take up for myself. I had to take up for myself. So, but God was faithful and God is good and he kept me. So all glory to God. Y'all just pray for me. Black girls in Dallas, the mean-spirited ones, because it's not all of the bullies. Y'all have to grow up. Or if you dealing with anger, be a drill sergeant. It's ways you can deal with that. rather than just putting people down you don't even know. It's time to let that toxic, mean-spirited, bully girl, mean girl energy. I know the culture praises mean girls that like to lash out, but in reality, in real life, you're going to end up in prison. You're going to end up in jail. You're going to lose your job because that type of behavior, though the culture rewards it in rap music and movies like Mean Girls and all that, and in real life, you will lose things. You will lose blessings because you are dealing with insecurities. You're dealing with anger. You're dealing with low self-esteem. So you lash out on people. And even me, when I dealt with anger because I've been bullied or because I've been picked on, I had to realize even that, when you get upset, you can't just go off on people. You can't just, even if they were, you gotta work on it because they'll use it to be, let me separate you because she can't control her mouth. You know what I'm saying? It comes back. So how much more when you just evil? My mom used to tell me if those evil girls that be giving you a hard time and bullying you, they going on, they getting their degrees and they being like lawyers and doctors, you better stop letting these mean girls put you in a little corner and hide from the world. You better go be somebody great. But real life does not reward negative behavior. The system, prison, jail, unalivement will reward you. That's the reward. Losing blessings will reward you. Or just staying under because that's your mentality. And maybe some people are happy there, but I'm sick of it, y'all. Please raise y'all daughters to be intelligent, classy Black women that know who they are. They don't think they better. They not trying to be just a hood rat or a baby mama or a bitch or a bad B, but a classy, intelligent, matter of fact, a woman of God, a daughter of Zion, a Proverbs 31 woman. So they won't go out here and grow up to be like I hate to say it, but acting like some of these women in their 60s and even 30s that's just laughing at somebody they don't even know, putting somebody down. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about me, what I'm going through. I could be right on the edge, and that just send me over, but I know Jesus. But y'all, just raise your daughters to be confident, to show love, to speak, to be intelligent, to know how to work with people, not just your own people, but all people. But the way my mama raised me was Black excellence. Like, you stick together, and you work with your brothers and your sisters, and you work with everybody. But the way my mama raised me was Black people stick together. We help one another. And then she raised me to know how to work with everybody, even people you may not agree with when it's time to work together for professional reasons. We can work together for professional reasons. I may not like you, you may not like me, but if we're doing something professional, we can do that. And then after that, we can go our separate ways. But please, y'all, when you're raising your daughters up, don't let them see all these idols, these sexy reds, and this mentality where you slap a chick and hit a chick and you just this mean-spirited, ratchet, toxic behavior. Put them around Black intelligent women that know how to uplift other Black women, know how to encourage, know how to mentor doctors, lawyers, and teachers. Put them around class, because anybody can get money and be flying all this money but half naked, but you can't buy class. You can't buy dignity. You can't buy a mentality of entrepreneurship or knowing how to work and knowing how to talk to people. You can't buy mannerisms. You can't buy some of the things that only your parents or God can give you. When you raise up with Christian parents, they teach you how to be mannerable. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. How to treat people, how to respect your elders. My mom would tell me, even if they're not right, still be respectful. As long as they're not telling you to do something totally crazy, just be respectful. God gonna deal with them. So y'all raise your daughters up to be classy, to be, to have, what do you call that? What's that word? To not be low, to not have low self-esteem, so they won't be bullies and mean-spirited and putting other Black girls down, or no one for that reason. Not to be racist either. Please, y'all, raise them up around Black excellence, Black class. But most of all, if you raise them up in the ways of the Lord, they're going to love God. They're going to love not only their own, but they're going to love everybody. So it won't be no racism there either. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Please pray for me. Black woman in Dallas, the toxic energy has to go. And it's not all of y'all. I'm talking to the ones that are mean-spirited and that are bullies. They know just who they are. It's time to grow up. Y'all need Jesus. I need Jesus. Put your energy, if you know you mean, like I said, go be a drill sergeant. It's ways that you can put that to use. Go be a prison ward. But don't work somewhere just putting innocent people down, being a bully. We don't need that. We done been through enough. We don't need to fight another war. And we just coming in here to get our labs. I don't need to be fighting you too. And I'm already dealing with fighting demons of my past or pleading the blood of Jesus against them and trying to deal with myself. And I got to come in here. I don't even know you. And you already against me. You know what I'm saying? Demons are real. So that's it. We need Jesus. It's time to grow up. Direct your energy in another another way. My mama would tell me, you got blessed hands. Don't use them to destroy and shut and slam stuff. Use them to build and create. I would tell y'all the same way. If you know you got a temper, or you got this, use it in a more constructive way. It's not what you have, it's what you do with it. Because with God, all things are possible. Peter had a temper too. But God said, I have prayed for you that Satan will not sift you as weak. And he said, after I have converted you, he said, on this rock, I will build my stone. So it's hope for you. But are you going to let Jesus in? Are you willing to grow? I have to be willing to grow. Some things I got to let go of, including popping off. I could pop off. I can let them know. What you say? Well, y'all look at, that's not intelligent. So that's why I'm trying to work on that, because it's not, then they're going to, I don't want to be labeled in the same club. Oh, all y'all ignorant monkeys, all y'all ratchet. No, I'm not ratchet. They don't see what you've been through. They just catch you when you popping off, and all y'all just ratchet monkeys. They don't care that you just you lost your temper, you stood up for yourself. They don't care. So that's why you have to be wise and have to have wisdom and carry yourself with grace and class. So y'all pray for me. And I love y'all. But black sisters, we have to do better. This black on black crime, as far as toxicity and jealous and ignorance to one another, is bullish. It needs to stop. And toward the white man and toward anybody, if y'all got any of that has to stop too. So at the end of the day, we need Jesus, and it's time to grow up, because it's not called for. If you're not going to be professional, don't work there. Let somebody else work there that's going to treat everybody the same. Because it's sad when your own black sisters don't even know you. I'm just raised old school black excellence. That ain't how my mama. We stick together. We work together. Black sister, black brother. No, ma'am. It's toxic. It's ghetto. It's energy. It's not giving. It's ignorance. But you only know better when you've been taught better. Then you do better. But anyway. And with that, my mama taught me, you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to work with everybody. I don't just want black money. I want white money, green money, Asian money. But I want everybody money. And guess what? I'm not going to just be fake for the money. I know how to work with you. I know how to love on everybody. That's how you get more money. That's how you build more relationships. But we still, within our own black community, we got some working out to do. So with that being said, I'm done. Bye. Have a blessed day. And y'all pray for me. I love y'all as always. Peace. Mwah. Pray for me. Thanks for watching. Hello to everybody that was watching on the Facebook side. This is going on TikTok and YouTube. Y'all pray for me. Love y'all. And do have a blessed Thursday.